Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Gamestack Podcast, right here on We Just Love Games Network. You are listening to episode 192, Port in a Storm. I am your co-host, Fendertron. Joining me this evening is Shalene. Hello,
Hi,
Shalene.
hi.
How are you, my dear?
Whoo!
Hoo
Wow.
hoo! I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this week's been a
I get
roller
it.
coaster. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's been it's been an experience.
yeah.
Winter has come for the state of New Mexico.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
you sent me that photo. It was like there was like 2 feet of snow.
yes, it was easily a foot and a half of snow in my hometown. My mom sent me a picture out the window, and it was just like
It's wild.
halfway up the window, the
I was
snow.
like, what the heck is that?
So much
That's
snow.
the kind of snowfalls that we get.
Hmm.
We have had one snowfall so far, and it's been just a light skiff. And it was
Yeah.
so funny because my partner that day that it snowed, I think it was last Saturday or the Saturday before. My partner drove across the city to pick something up he bought on Kijiji, like a piece of workout equipment. And I was like, "So how was the drive?" He's like, "Oh man, it was so bad." He's like, "There was like a car in the ditch on fire." And like I'm like, "But it was just like a little powdering of snow." Like
Hmm.
people are so
Yeah, that's how it is here. When you get like one flake of snow, everybody forgets how to drive.
they like
Just
lose their minds.
hmm.
Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a week.
Yeah,
Let
a
me tell
pretty large portion of the state of New Mexico was shut down yesterday
you.
because
Snow
there was just too much
Day.
snow.
Did you
Yeah.
watch Snow Day?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
you should have. What did you do for Snow Day?
Spent the morning reading books, and then I
Oh.
spent the afternoon playing Dragon Age Veilguard.
Oh my
So
gosh, that sounds like the best day ever.
it was a pretty good day. And I took a
Yeah.
nap somewhere in there. There was a nap. Hmm.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, it was a good day.
Good.
But yeah, how about you? How are you? How are things?
I'm okay. This week was my first week at my new job.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a whirlwind. It was very busy. Um, I've been sending about 40 to 50 emails a day.
Mm-hmm.
I've my calendar instantly filled up with meetings for the whole week. Um, and I've had a lot of meetings with like high profile people,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that I'm not really used to. So I really have to sort of rein it in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I'm the type of person that will just tell it like it is. But you can't really do
Right.
that. You can't really do that in these meetings. So, and we were in a meeting and they were trying to figure out because we have somebody who wanted to get access to the healthcare system from outside of the province, and that's an issue. But
Yeah.
and there's all the directors and the vice deans, and they're all like humming and hawing about whether or not they should give this person access. And I'm just sitting there like, this is so dumb. They're wasting time trying to figure out how to do this. And I said, "Can I ask a question?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "So this person is out of province. So first of all, it doesn't satisfy the Health Information Act. And
Mm-hmm.
second of all, it's not HIPAA and PIPEDA compliant." And I said, "So, like,
Why are we trying to do it?
why are we
Yeah.
trying to do this?" And I said, "Can we just get a data pull for them and give them anonymized data without giving them any access to the healthcare system?" And then it was just like silence. And they were like, "Actually, that's exactly what we should do."
I was imagining that meme where they're in the meeting and the one guy gets that says something sensible gets thrown out the window.
I was just like, how do you all not know this yet? I'm the student here. Anyways, so I kind of felt good coming out of that meeting. I had a little bit of confidence for the rest of the week, you know.
Hmm. As you
But
should.
anyways, it's been a very busy week. I am looking forward to a 3 day weekend. Monday is Remembrance Day here in Canada.
Yeah, it is
Um,
Veterans Day here in the United
as it is
States.
Veterans Day in the United States. So a shout out to all of our veterans and soldiers who are serving our countries across the world,
Mhm.
and we send out remembrance to all of those soldiers who have lost their lives and fought for their countries and the families as well. My grandpa actually fought in World War II.
Neat.
He was
Yeah.
supposed to go to Normandy, but the morning of, his commanding officer, his CO, changed his orders and sent him to Calais, France instead.
That was probably a much safer
And
situation.
he still had his eardrum blown out, and he was basically invalided out, sent back to Canada. But yeah, like he probably would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a crazy story. Yeah, and
Oh, my grandpa
my
my
grandma
grandpa
was
did
an
not.
airplane mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is
That's
that?
so cool.
It's so
So
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa did not serve in World War II. He was in the army. It was after World War II and before whatever the next war was, I think Korea. So he was like between wars. But my when he passed away, my town wanted to put him on the World War II memorial wall.
Yeah.
And we were like, but he wasn't in World War II. And they put him up there anyway.
That's awesome.
And we were so mad because we were like, no, that's a lie. He did not fight in World War II. He was not in any wars. He was in the army, but he was never in combat. Because he was a secretary and he did like sharpshooting demonstrations, and that's what he did when he was in the army. And they put him on the World War II wall against
Well,
our will.
hold on here, because was that during the World War?
No,
Oh,
no.
so yeah,
He
then
didn't
it's
serve
not
until
valid.
after the war was over. And like I the whole town acted like my mom and I were just terrible people because we refused to go to this ceremony. But we were so mad. We told them, please do not put him on this wall. He did not serve in World War II. He was not in
That's
he
so
joined
funny.
after. He joined
That's
after.
so backwards. You think it would be the other way around. Like the family would be advocating to get the name, and then the town would be against it because the person didn't serve or
Yeah,
something.
you always hear about those like stolen valor
Yes.
situations. And this is
It's
like
like
some
reverse
kind of weird
stolen valor.
reverse of that.
Oh
Anyway,
gosh.
shout out to our grandpas, one of whom served in World War II.
Shout out also to our soldiers in arms brewing coffee and roasting coffee beans for us over at Oak and Crow Coffee. You can go to oakandcrow.com and pick up a bag of We Just Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. Don't forget to tell your friends about the show. Check us out on Discord. Shalene, the Discord's been pretty busy this week. Tell us about
It
it.
has. Well, the most important thing that's happened in Discord recently is that somebody posted about the new birth of the new pygmy hippo at the Edinburgh Zoo. And this hippo's name is Haggis, and he's very cute. And just equally as cute as Mudang, but he seems a little calmer.
Really?
Maybe if they were together, Mudang would bully Haggis, is how I feel like it would go. I
This
feel like
thing
if
is
if they
adorable, Shalene.
I
Look at
understand why they named
him!
him Haggis. He totally looks like a little haggis. He's just so cute. Hi, little haggis. Oh,
Oh, thanks for the ads. New York Times.
well, he's a cute little guy.
Ruined. Look at him,
Pygmy
he's so
hippos for
cute.
the win. Such a cute little baby. Um,
You know, in Canada,
yeah.
we have house hippos.
Do you?
Have you ever seen that commercial for
I
the
don't think I
house
have.
hippo? Oh, I'm
Tell
gonna
me
send it to
more.
you.
Okay.
It's this it was actually, I think it was a commercial for misinformation. Like it was an
Ah.
education campaign to tell
Mhm.
people about misinformation and like being able to identify it.
And
And
instead, people just believed there were house hippos.
they did this whole thing about house hippos, and they were these tiny little hippos walking around
Oh.
next to the baseboards in the houses and stuff, and like eating your socks and like
Okay, I'll tell you right now, like I would murder a man to be able to have a house hippo.
right, I would have a
Um
million of them. They would just be everywhere.
Have you ever seen the hairless guinea pigs? They look kind of like a little
Yes.
hippo.
Yeah.
They do. That's
Yeah.
that's probably as close as we can get to a house hippo. Wow, this is a video game
Welcome
podcast.
haggis to the world.
and to our Discord.
Yeah.
And if you would like to join our Discord, just like Haggis the Hippo has, you can click the link on our Twitch page over at twitch.tv/we just love games. That link is live whether or not we are. So please go click, join all the shenanigans that are in the Discord. There's honestly always something going on in
Yeah.
this channel, and it's so fun to talk with like-minded people, and it's a very safe place
Yeah.
to hang out,
Yeah.
especially during times like this when many of us are feeling a little some big feelings,
Yeah, it's
some big
nice. It's
feelings.
nice to see that people have kept things really civil as well in there. So we know
I
we have a really
appreciate
good
that so much.
group of
Yeah.
people. Yeah. We do have some news to talk about this evening. We have some stocks. Shalene actually has some gameplay, and I do as well. So let's hop into it with this just in. All yours, Shalene.
Okay, news. First of all, shout out to Joseph Tao. Thank you for helping us put the news together, as always. And we hope you're doing good out there, buddy. So we're going to start out with this story that I know is going to make some of my friends extremely, extremely happy. I'm looking at you, Sherry Sherwood and Pantagruelia. No Man's Sky is rolling out cross save. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, that's
Isn't
exciting.
that exciting? Yes, this is a Eurogamer article by Matt Wales. And this is the sixth update this year. And this is a feature that's been years in the making, cross save. It is available alongside cross play for all platforms, including PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Steam Deck, PSVR 1 and 2, and PCVR. So you can pick up where you left off, regardless of which machine you've been playing on. And I think that is just remarkable and splendid and wonderful. I
Mm.
know Sherry, in particular, of the Dames Who Game, has active saves on every platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is going to make her life so much easier to be able to pick it up no matter where she's sitting.
Yeah.
Hello Games says that introducing this feature has been especially difficult given the range of platforms that it's catering to and the age of some of the saves that players are still using. Here's a little quote from Hello Games. It's very common for players to rack up thousands of hours of incredibly detailed saves. Adding cross save for us is a bit like moving house. The longer people have lived there, the more complicated it is to move them. We also have players who played once at launch 8 years ago, suddenly loading up that save on a platform that didn't even exist back then. So they are being cautious with their approach to cross saves and rolling out the feature gradually. Starting today, players can link all their various platform accounts together via the No Man's Sky website, and a subset of players will have access to cross saves initially. And in the coming weeks, all players will be invited to access cross saves. And there is some more. To coincide with the PlayStation Pro launch, Hello Games is also releasing an enhanced version of No Man's Sky for the platform, including crisp 4K resolution at 60 FPS and 8K at 30 FPS. That comes alongside improved lighting, ultra quality reflections, and higher quality ambient occlusion across all modes. And these enhancements are also available on PSVR 2. And for the final No Man's Sky update, Hello Games is joining in with BioWare's annual Mass Effect in 7 celebrations by running an overhauled version of 2021's limited time Beachhead Expedition. Completing this quest unlocks Mass Effect's SSV Normandy SR1 as a usable frigate in game. And players have 2 weeks to acquire it starting yesterday as of this recording. So that's really cool. I know there are so many Mass Effect fans out there. I'm one of them. I would be delighted to drive the Normandy in another game. And
Are they launch?
yeah,
Does
that's
that
it for that.
is that on November 11th? Would that be releasing on November 11th or on or around
No,
there? No.
no, in 7 day is November 7th.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added this other little fun story about No Man's Sky that you can talk about.
Cool. Let's find it.
Um, yeah, or I can talk about it.
Go for it.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but this came across our desk last week. No Man's Sky devs have fixed a game-breaking bug for a player who had 611 hours in the game. So yeah, one of the fans had their game-breaking bug prioritized and promptly fixed by Hello Games after one of the developers learned that the player invested 611 hours into the
Those
title,
rookie numbers. We got to get those numbers up.
right? And No Man's Sky has come a long way. There's always room for improvement, and this marks just another example of how dedicated their team is to ensuring the quality of their game and the continuity of their players. After failing to meet expectations with No Man's Sky's original launch, I love how this article just drags that back up. They've continued to add features since then, as we all know. And a player had shared their experience about how they had come up against this bug, and the developers went above and beyond, out of their way, to be able to save this person's play. Um,
That's amazing. I love that they did that.
I honestly think there's a lot of people out there that have more than 611
Hmm.
hours in No Man's Sky. So I really think that this is actually just a squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of situation.
I mean, Sherry alone has probably got 611 hours of watching loading screens in No Man's Sky. Like,
Exactly. um yeah. Anyways, yeah. So the quest was received by a Martin Griffiths on Twitter, and they had a request to fix an annoying and to some extent game breaking visual bug that occurred in No Man's Sky. So the player who reported the bug had all these hours and felt obliged to prioritize the situation because of the fans' dedication. And the devs also mentioned that the player deserved extra attention after spending so much time in the exploration title. And it seems that the more hours No Man's Sky players invest, the more likely it is that the team will take quick action. A record playtime to date, according to Griffiths, is over 4,000 hours.
hmm
So
yeah,
it's probably Sherry.
that's a lot of time.
It's
That's a
probably Sherry.
lot of time.
Sherry's like, yeah, that's me.
Something that I do find really upsetting is that every article always brings up, like, after its initially disappointing launch, when really the game was not disappointing at launch. It was a victim of bad marketing.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
sold us a game that didn't exist, and that
yeah.
was Sony's fault.
Well,
And
here is the bug, just in case you were
ooh, that's
wondering.
a nightmare. So
Yeah.
tell us what we're looking at here. It's
So
it's like
it's so you look up in the sky and at the windows in the buildings and stuff, and they're like shattering bright pink and flickering, and
mhm.
the ground is kind of flickering as well. Yeah, this would give
I
me,
yeah, this would be unplayable.
yeah.
I feel like this could trigger an epileptic situation. This is yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was just kind of a heartwarming story cuz like I don't know. I've lost
Mhm.
saves in games before where I've had like a lot of time invested and then I just never went back to it.
Mhm. Yeah, Hello
So,
Games is really a prime example of how to do it right. So, they have
mm-mm.
supported this game in a way that is just very inspiring. But
Okay, you do the next story. I need to go fill my water. I'll be
you
right
go
back.
forth, get some water, hydrate, buddy, hydrate. So, previously on this very show, Gamestack podcast, we talked about the announcement of Gears of War E Day, which is a prequel story that will talk about Marcus and Dom's experiences on E Day. And according to this GameSpot article by Blair Marnell, Gears of War E Day will feature the original voice actors for Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Dom Santiago. And I'm very excited about that. This was announced yesterday on November 7th. Because November 7th is not just in 7 Day, it's also the anniversary of the launch of the first Gears of War way back in 2006. So, on the 18th anniversary of the game, Xbox Studios celebrated the occasion by confirming that the original voice actors would return. So we can see John DiMaggio and Carlos Ferro back in their respective roles as Marcus and Dom, and I'm very excited about that. Definitely glad that they were able to secure the original voice actors, and highly looking forward to Gears of War E Day. And I hope that it brings the series back to its horror roots. So here's another issue that we have talked about over and over on this podcast, and we keep getting new reasons to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it again. This is a Eurogamer article by Victoria Kennedy. Sega will be delisting over 60 classic games from virtual stores. 60 classic games, yes. Starting on December 6th, um, these games will no longer be able to purchase. If you already have them in your library, it will stay available to download and play as of what we have heard. In an FAQ, Sega noted that select individual classic titles will remain playable for those of us who have a Nintendo Switch Online X subscription, and no explanation was given for why these changes are being made. The titles that will be delisted on Steam, so it's different titles that are being delisted on different platforms. On Steam, we're losing Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Alien Soldier. You're still muted,
Yeah, I got you.
according to our in studio. Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis, Biohazard Battle, Bonanza Bros, Columns 3, Comic Zone, Crackdown, Crazy Taxi, Decap Attack, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Dreamcast Collection Bundle, Dynamite Heady, Echo Jr., Echo the Dolphin, Echo the Tides of Time, E-SWAT City Under Siege, Eternal Champions, Fatal Labyrinth, Flicky, Galaxy Force 2, Gain Ground, Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3, Gunstar Heroes, Jet Set Radio, Kid Chameleon, Landstalker, The Treasures of King Noel, Light Crusader, Mega Drive and Genesis Classic Bundle, Nights into Dreams, Fantasy Star 2, 3, and 4, Rystar, Sega Bass Fishing, etc. I'm not going to read the rest of these. Let me go through these. Shining Force 1 and 2, Shinobi 3, Sonic 3D Blast, Space Channel 5, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. Um, let's see, Toe Jam and Earl, and Panic on Funkton, The Revenge of Shinobi, Virtua Fighter 2. Um, yeah. On Xbox, we're losing several of those games, including Crazy Taxi, Altered Beast, Golden Axe, Shinobi, Streets of Rage. Um, on Nintendo Switch, we're losing Sega Genesis Classics. On PlayStation, Sega Genesis
Sucks.
Classics. It does suck. It
Sonic, I
really
love playing
does.
Sonic. I love
Mm-hmm.
playing Sonic 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. So again, this is what we've talked about over and over on this show. Um, the way that companies just yoink their games from storefronts is disgusting, and we don't like it. So stop doing that.
I
You have
hate
anything else to
all of
say about
them.
it?
No.
I'm so mad. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so
I'm
mad.
annoyed.
Um, so since we are on hiatus again with that Fallout show, I thought we would talk about this piece of news here on Gamestack. Macaulay Culkin will be joining season 2 of Fallout's
This
the
was
Fallout TV
so
show.
okay. Who's he gonna be, Shalene? This is so weird.
I hope that he is a version of his Home Alone character. Just just a murder
Just a
hobo setting
menace.
traps. Yes. I want him to be just like living in a house and setting insane traps everywhere, and yeah, I think
I
that would be a good joke.
that would that would sort of track with what I would expect to see.
Really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, definitely. Um yeah, I
What
don't
we
know. Like do we know what faction do you think he's going to align with, or is he just going to be
I
like some
think he
random
will be on
wasteland?
his own. Yeah, I don't think he will be affiliated with a any factions. The only information we have is that Culkin is said to be playing a crazy genius type character, aka his Home Alone
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Um,
There's three characters that I want to see develop further in season two, and the first is Johnny Pemberton, who plays Thaddeus, because amazing. The second is John Daly, who plays the snake oil salesman, right? And then the
um,
what's that?
your audio is still a little shaky,
Is it?
according to our in studio producer. He
Oh,
confirms what Pellin Fuzzlefer says, that it's not quite where it should be.
how about now?
Well, we have to wait a second because there is a
Yeah.
delay. So
I was
yeah,
having I was having some memory issues with my PC.
mm,
So,
that
uh
may be part of the problem.
anyways, I'm just going to continue on. So,
Yes, carry on.
Johnny Pemberton and John Daly, I totally want to see these guys their characters develop a little bit further.
I agree.
Yeah. And then there was a third guy, I can't remember his name. What was his name? Oh, it's going to come to me. Dale Dickey. But
Who's Dale
does
Dickey?
she die? Doesn't she die? I can't remember.
Who is she?
She plays the store owner in
Oh no,
the
she didn't die.
yeah. I'd like to see her again
Yeah,
in
she's still
season
alive.
two.
Yeah,
Um,
but
I just
I
like the zany
mm-hmm.
funny characters because it's exactly what you expect of a Fallout. Maddie
Yes.
Carter Opple, he ended up dying. He played Huey in the Super Duper Mart.
Yes, he died.
He
Mm-hmm.
ended up dying. So it's too bad they killed his character off because he would have
Mm-hmm.
been a nice addition to season two. But yeah,
So you mentioned something that I think was almost joking, um, that Macaulay Culkin could play Arcade Gannon,
yeah,
and that would be incredible casting for Arcade Gannon, wouldn't it be?
yeah,
That would be pretty brilliant casting.
yeah. Except I don't know if Macaulay Culkin can pull off Arcade Gannon.
I don't know.
He certainly has the face for it, but
It's been a little bit since I have seen Macaulay Culkin act in anything.
he hasn't
I feel like
acted.
he hasn't been acting in quite a while. So,
He hasn't acted.
mm-hmm,
He got his Hollywood star, and after that,
mm-hmm,
he didn't act. So
yeah.
I don't think I've seen him in anything.
The okay. So according to this article, he has recently voiced a character on Prime Video's animated series The Second Best Hospital in the Galaxy, and he also had a major role on FX's American Horror Story: double feature,
Yeah.
and did an arc on HBO's The Righteous Gemstones. So he is back in the business. And I'm excited to see what happens here. That'll be fun. Uh Our next story is a Go Nintendo article by Raw Meat Cowboy. That is the byline
This is
of
the
this.
level of top
What did you
journalism.
bring me, vendor? What did you
I
bring
don't know
me?
what this is.
This was a you article. This was not a Joseph article. This one was
Oh.
you posted this in our Discord.
Let
Um
me find a better source as you talk about the title of it.
the composer for Zelda the Breath of the Wild has left Nintendo. Nintendo has lost a considerable talent, according to Rami Cowboy, as confirmed by a message shared on the employee's personal Twitter account.
There you go.
Yes, you found a better one?
Better
Okay.
one. Yeah, there you go.
All right. MyNintendoNews.com. We don't have a byline for this, so we don't know who wrote it, but thank you. And Yasuka Iwata has made a belated announcement about his departure from the company. He left the company in July of 2023 and took the reins at another company. He states, I have a bit of a belated announcement to share. In July of last year, I took a step in a new direction by leaving my position at Nintendo. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who supported me over the years, to those who enjoyed my work, and to everyone who listened to the music through the projects I was part of. I've been working on new projects since my departure, and I hope to have the opportunity to share some of these with you in the near future. If there are those who would like to continue following my journey, I'd be truly grateful, and I hope you look forward to what's to come. Thank you for your continued support. And I would like to say that this is a tremendous loss for Nintendo. The Breath of the Wild soundtrack is just brilliant. It's so good. It's so good.
Mhm.
And I uh
The
it is a large part of what kept me in that world for so long.
the Gerudo Town music is the best music in the whole game, in my opinion. I love
Yeah,
it. I love
it's
it
so
so
good.
much. Sometimes when I need to chill and I'm stressed, I just go to Gerudo Town
Hmm.
and everything is okay again.
I love the way the Breath of the Wild soundtrack combines very traditional instrumental with very futuristic sounds.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, it's so good.
That's what I'm
It's
going to
so
do
good.
this weekend. I'm going to play Tears of the Kingdom.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
So our next article is a bit of a lead into GameStop. Uh,
Hmm.
so spoilers. Uh, this is a sportsillustrated.com article because who knew Sports Illustrated was doing
This
video
is
game
why I'm
news.
not allowed to compile the news.
No, this one wasn't you. This was a Joseph Tao joint.
Oh, really?
He even comments that at some point in the news email he commented that he only included it because he didn't know Sports Illustrated was doing video game news now. So yeah,
Huh.
this is a Joseph Tao one.
Huh.
But Take Two Interactive has sold Outer Worlds and indie game publisher Private Division, according to this article by Josh Broadwell. GTA's parent company, Take Two Interactive, has sold the indie game publishing label Private Division to an unknown buyer. This news comes a few months after Take Two shut down Roll7 and Intercept, and Take Two CEO Strauss Zelnick says that it's part of the company's shift towards mobile and blockbuster games. This is a quote from Zelnick. The team of Private Division did a great job supporting independent developers, and almost to a one, every project they supported did well. However, the scale of those projects was, candidly, on the smaller side, and we're in the business of making great big hits. We made this strategic decision so that we could focus all of our resources on growing our core and mobile businesses for the long term. We're really best at these big AAA experiences. We have the biggest intellectual properties in the interactive entertainment business, some of the biggest intellectual properties in the overall entertainment business. And to make sequels to existing beloved franchises, as well as to create hit intellectual properties, is our mission. Okay, fair. But why did they buy an indie game publisher if they're not interested in that? Why did they buy them? Why? Why did they buy them? I that makes no sense, right? If they're not interested in that segment of the market, why did they buy a piece of it?
I I don't know.
It's it's so strange. Well, best of luck to Private Division. Hopefully they will find a new they have found a new home, but hopefully it's a good home and not like an abusive home. And somebody please take care of them. That's what I got.
Stocks. The final frontier. Sony closed out at 1991 in comparison to 2 weeks ago at 1768, difference of $2.29. Microsoft down $5.61 this week, 422.54. Nintendo down 92 cents at 12.20. Take Two up $32.70, closing out at 177.90. EA up $12.71 at 157.91. Tencent down $1.03 at 53.02, and Roblox is up $10.26 at 52.40. And that's quite a bit of market fluctuation. I imagine that it has something to do with the political consequences and fallout that we're about to experience, because a lot of these uh, originating in Asia, these companies, or
Mm-hmm.
in the Asias, are may stand to make a lot of money in terms of tariffs and things. So we'll see. Or maybe not. Maybe they stand to lose a lot of money because they have to pay tariffs, which means it's the consumer that pays more. I don't know. Anyways, that's the stocks. We do have a schwack load by Vendertron terms, a schwack load of screenshots and stories. But before we get onto that, let's talk about the mail. Have we got mail?
You've got mail.
We do have
Get
mail,
out of
and
town.
we actually have a quite a bit of mail.
Okay,
So
let's
we're gonna
go.
roll
Let's do
back
it.
here because we skipped this last time because we had gone kind of long. But I thought it would be fun to revisit. So Archie Z13 says, while we are not having a show today, which was weeks ago, following the topic of AI, I tasked it to do something fun for us. Let's see what we get. Here's a fun 5-question personality test based on video games.
Ooh.
Each question has multiple choice answers, and you can tally your score at the end to determine your personality type. Okay, so do you want to do the test like live on the air, Vendor?
Yeah, I just gotta I gotta scroll and find the post here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So everybody grab a
holy
little
crap,
little
we have a
bit
lot
of
of
paper
mail.
and a pen,
Okay,
and
hold
we're
on. I
not going
gotta
to
get.
read through all of it. It's not all fit to
Okay.
talk about on the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so question 1: what type of game world do you prefer? A, open world where I can explore at my own pace. B, linear and story driven with a clear sense of direction. C, competitive and fast paced multiplayer environments. D, creative sandbox where I can build and experiment. And question 2: what role do you gravitate towards in multiplayer games? A, a supportive role like a healer or support class. B, a damage dealer taking the fight head on. C, a strategist focusing on tactics and planning. D, I prefer solo or PvE modes over multiplayer. Okay. Question number 3. How do you feel about difficult games? A, I love a challenge. Bring on the hard modes. B, I like some challenge, but prefer a balanced experience. C, I don't have much patience for difficult games. I play for fun. D, I enjoy them if they offer creative solutions to tough problems.
Mm.
Question number 4. What motivates you when playing games? A, achieving 100% completion and finding every secret. B, becoming the best at competitive play or mastering a specific skill. C, immersing myself in a great story and well developed characters. D, building, crafting, or creating
That's the
something
hardest
unique.
question. There needs to be all of the above. I mean, that's
That is a hard question. It really is. Number 5, how do you approach combat in games? A, I prefer stealth and taking my time to plan out encounters. B, I charge in aggressively and rely on my reflexes. C, I adapt and use strategy depending on the situation. D, I avoid combat when possible and focus on other aspects of the game. So here's the scoring. So for every question, give yourself points based on your answer. For every A, you're going to give yourself 3 points. I had 3 A's. For every B, you're going to give yourself 2 points. For every C, you're going to give yourself 1 point. And for every D, you're going to give yourself 4 points.
bingo.
So let me add this up here. Okay, so I've got a score of 20. So here's the
Wow.
results. What did you score, Vendor?
13.
13. Well, we're going to go through all the results because I'm sure our listeners did not all get the same results as us. So if you got 5 to 7 points, your playstyle is the storyteller. For you, the story is everything. You're drawn to games with rich narratives and well-crafted characters. You enjoy linear or story-driven games, immersing yourself in different worlds and experiences. If you got 8 to 10 points, you are the competitor. You thrive on competition, whether that's in fast paced multiplayer matches or mastering challenging games. You enjoy the thrill of overcoming obstacles and proving your skills, often aiming to be the best in the game. 12 to 15 points. This one's you, vendor. The Explorer. You love open worlds and the freedom to take your time. You're motivated by discovery and you prefer games that let you experiment and explore at your own pace. Creativity and adventure drive your gaming choices. And here's me, 16 to 20 points. The Creator. You're at your happiest when you're building, crafting, and experimenting in games. Wow, that's wrong.
Yeah, I was
Sandbox
just
and
thinking.
creative games are your go to, and you enjoy the freedom to shape your experience and express yourself through gameplay. Wow, that could not be more wrong for me.
I
AI
feel
has
like
failed.
I feel like you're the storyteller,
Yeah,
like
probably.
5 to 7. And I feel like I'm somewhere between explorer and creator.
Yeah, I think you're definitely more the creator than I am,
Like
for
number
sure.
4, question 4 is flawed.
Hmm. Well, that was really fun. Let's see. I think some of the people gave their answers in the replies.
Oh.
Sullivan Sevens Racing says that he's the explorer. He got 13 points. Archie Zed said 18 points. Whoop, the creator. You can pick multiple choices if it applies.
Yeah, that's true.
Vexinator thinks it was off for them. They had the competitor, but they actually don't like it when it's a competition. Fire and Gasoline got 12 points. The explorer. And Archie Zed said these scores are kind of the text variant of the pictures with 6 fingers, like because AI art,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
AI created the
Did
quiz.
you do we get any in the chat, in the live chat, because I
We
missed it?
didn't get any in the
Okay.
live
Okay.
chat. No, I'm just reading the responses to this. Sulior got a 14 to 15. And then we have some other AI discussions that we're not going to talk about. Um, yeah, that was great. That was really
Um
fun.
what else have you got up your sleeve for mail?
Okay, so Fire and Gasoline put a pretty great post. Fire and Gasoline says, during this time of high tensions and political divide, I feel like we all need some good soul food, but in game format. What
Okay.
is your go to favorite game that provides you with ultimate comfort? Are there any new games that feel like they were released at this particularly perfect time?
Hmm.
While you think about your answer, RTZ said that his nomination goes to Death Stranding. Kawaii Banana Sushi said that her comfort games are Fallout, Stardew Valley, and Little Big Planet, and mentions that there is a cat slug game that she wants to try. And I correctly identified Rain World because there are not a ton of cat slug games on the planet. Um, RTZ mentioned Skyrim, and they're joking about Skyrim being on every platform. Frankles says that she always heads to ESO for familiarity and the
Yeah,
security of
that
repetitive
sounds about
quest
right.
tasks. Um,
It depends. Like for me right now, it's probably going to be Tears of the Kingdom
mm-hmm,
or Animal Crossing, but I would say my overall is American Truck Simulator.
absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely.
I definitely consider Animal Crossing one of my comfort games. But you know what else is a really strong comfort game for me is Tetris. Sometimes when like I'm having too many feelings and too many thoughts, I like to just play Tetris until my thumbs hurt. And that really helps.
Hmm.
So, and of course the Fallout series always brings me joy.
Makes you
So,
concentrate on something else.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts me in kind of a robot mode.
Yeah.
So
I know how
that
you
was a
feel.
great question. So thank you so much for sharing those questions. If you would like to contribute to the mail stack, which I hope you do because we really enjoy talking about your discussion topics and stuff, you can just post in the mail stack channel of our Discord or
Hmm.
send us an email at info at we just love games.
Now it's time for screenshots and stories. So we'll go through the screenshots and then we'll cap off our screenshots with the Gamestack challenge because we got a couple of Gamestack challenge photos from Stacktoberfest. This first post comes from Alex. She says, "It's not a spoiler, I promise, but it is from the new Dragon Age. I couldn't resist." And this is an absolutely beautiful photo. Explain it because I know you love Dragon Age, Lean.
Yes. So it looks like we are kind of in the fade here. This may be from the lighthouse section. I'm still pretty far at the beginning of Dragon Age, so I'm not 100% sure where we are. And it looks like her character is a Kunari mage, which is a really interesting choice. So, very pretty. She has the magical staff on her back. I've forgotten what they call them in Dragon Age. Because it's been that long since I've played a Dragon Age game, and we're overlooking a mountain, and they're like floaty rocks from the walkway.
I
It's really
like it.
cool. It's a cool screenshot.
And then we also have this one. She says this is her character, who
Mm-hmm.
is super cool.
Very cool. Canary Mage, big
She
fan.
is standing on top of some vines growing,
Mm-hmm.
and she's got these leg boot things with these dragon scales, steel toe boots. And then she's got like some armor on that's a little bit chalked in blood.
Yes, it's completely
Um,
covered in gore. I believe this was included as a pre-order bonus.
and then she's wearing a nice, what do you call that? Like a hip. What's this?
That is a belt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have this one. She says, "Look, a dog."
Yay, Mabari! Mabari hounds are a pretty big part of the Dragon Age lore, and she's petting a doggo.
It's very cute. In-game dogs. And then we have this one from Tim Twig. Now, Tim um, did a weird science theme post, but it is a post of many pictures, and we don't have a lot of time to go through all of them. So I did pluck out a few of the pearls, but I will tell you the story of the pictures. So this first one, um, he says, mix in a dash of awesome, a sprinkle of humor, a heaping helping of mischief. What am I missing? Oh, yeah, those crystal blue eyes. And here's a picture of his character, I believe.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
this is in, I don't know what game this is in.
Once Human, I think is the game.
Yeah, so he's holding a pad, and it's obviously the character creator. It looks really cool. And then he says, baked for 60 to 90 minutes on 120 degrees, and voila! Now, our guide, a magic bird named simply V. He introduces us to a haunting specter named Mitsuko. And here's an image of his character with a backpack on, and the bird is floating in front of him. It looks kind of cool.
Honestly, it looks like a Galarian Moltres from Pokemon. So
He says, we make a break for it and escape to a safe space where we can talk. That's him and the bird. Obviously, this is where the exposition reveals itself that I am the chosen one and the entire universe is counting on me, blah, blah, blah. He says, I'm not just like saying blah, blah, blah. And then he says, I'm going hunting. And here's a picture of him with a crossbow at his like campsite. It looks really cool.
it does.
And then he's flying in the air. Now he's with his burb. And they're flying through the air like Harry Potter. They're Harry
Mm-hmm.
Potting it. Um, and then he posted this awesome photo of the shiny red candy like button that you have to push.
There is a lot going on in this game, isn't there? This looks like
Yes,
he's inside a toy
he's
box.
he's in some sort of play place. And there's like other players. This looks like a game lobby or something.
I am pretty sure Once Human is an MMO.
Yeah. And here's a picture of him in the dark, in the night, running down the road. And there is this colossal, like, school bus spider thing. Uh,
That is wild.
and in his
Wow.
backpack, I don't know if you noticed, but in his backpack, he has the bird,
Yes, as you
like
should.
the Norman Reedus fetus back,
Retus's fetuses.
the Reedus fetus backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Tim's posts. He said, once human, good times. And then we got this post from Gaz. Gaz says, spending my time while sick learning Root. Solo, easy AI. I think I have a handle on a vagabond. There's no way human players would have let me have the resources to launch the nuke of a final turn, but I did have an alternative win option regardless. Victory is the first to hit 30 points.
Well, this is interesting. I wonder what kind of game this is. Root, you said?
It's called Root. Yeah. And then there's Alex posted this one. She said, I love Dragon Age. So silly. And it is a screen dialogue box that says, damp notice. Venatori, stop leaving the rooftop passage open. It lets in a draft. And for those of you who play Dragon Age, you would understand that. Makes no sense to me. I don't know how to zoom in here. There we go.
Oh, we're in Skyrim, aren't we? Oh my goodness
My
gracious.
zoom is broken for some
I
reason.
cannot look at Skyrim without immediately wanting to play Skyrim.
Hold on. Let me fix this cuz I'm
By the way, while he's fixing things, I'm going to mention that Root is the digital adaptation of the beloved tabletop board game. It is a game of adventure and war where 2 to 4 players battle for control of a vast wilderness. And the art style is delightful.
So this is
Really like it.
RTZ. He says almost there, shooting for that very last achievement which needs me to level up to around 80. Skyrim is running out of the baddies slowly. Captions number 1. That's this photo. He says some cool dungeons in the DLC which I haven't played before.
Mhm.
And number 2, Lydia slaying a dragon. And there's a picture of a dragon in the background, and Lydia is slaying it.
Yeah, she's on top of its head, just slamming her sword in there.
And this cool shot of the realm of Hermes Mora.
Yes,
First
I
time
loved
here.
this.
He says first time here. And then me grinding restoration with some friendly storm cloaks, and it's a picture of a storm cloak, like blurry image, like he's in the middle of combat. So good.
So if he's spamming restoration, he's just letting that storm cloak hit him and spamming restoration.
Yeah. Taz posted us some traditional photos that we know and love. A much needed sunflower field for Shalene.
Thank you, Taz. You knew I was needing some joy in my life.
Yep. And we have this nice one of the sunrise at his base camp on Eden Crafters. This is the new crafting game that he's been playing. And then an obligatory Fallout post from the archives of the modded playthrough with the Minuteman Athena squad. And it is a picture of 4 individuals all in Minuteman gear. I think that's Piper in the background.
Maybe? It looks like Piper to me.
Yeah.
It might be a player kit. Yeah, it's the Piper hat for sure. They're all wearing super cool armor.
And then the last post from Archin, he says, started working a new job. Glory to Arstotska. How do you say it?
I'm not even sure. Astortska.
Astortska. And
Glory to Astortska.
It's a picture of a map, and it says, for immediate placement, report to Ministry of Admissions at Grestin Border Checkpoint. And this is from Papers, Please.
Yes, he picked up Papers, Please as his Stacktober challenge.
Yeah. So the Stacktober challenge was that one, and then we have a couple Stacktober challenges. This one's from Sulior.
This looks really cool. What is this?
They said, I picked up Alan Wake 2 a few months back and finally got around to playing it. That counts as dusting a game off of the stack, right? Love the photo mode in this game. And this is beautiful. In the background, beautiful Victorian house. Coming down a path, running towards it. Looks very good. And then also this one, which is a little bit creative. His character running down a road towards a bridge.
Looks like he's using some spooky filters.
Spooky filters with sunset in the background, maybe. And then we have this weird post, which I don't understand, but it will make sense in a moment when I read the caption. It's from Alex. She says, okay, finally did the challenge for October. Zephyr and I played through. We Were Here, and it was short, but super creepy. And the names we came up with for runes was hilarious. Squidward's house, which is the one on the far
Yeah,
left.
okay. That looks like
Yeah.
Squidward's house. Yeah.
Shocked stick figure,
Yes, that
which is like,
tracks.
oh my god, with its half head lopped off. And well, the last one is inappropriate for a family-friendly podcast.
Oh, I would have gone with elevator door, but you do you, Alex and Zephyr.
Yeah, I would say like Empire State Building. Um, I also had to describe chess moves to Zephyr, who plays like a boss but knows none of the names of the pieces.
That's
So
amazing.
my description included move the horsey to the left and such.
I love it.
And then she also am I missing a photo here? I'm missing the last photo. Let me
You can just describe it to
it's
us.
it's all frozen. Everything is broken now.
Just describe it to
The
us.
last photo is a shadow of a person hanging from some chains in some chamber in the basement of somewhere.
Oh, that sounds spooky as heck.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky. So,
Well, thank you everybody for contributing. This is one of my favorite things to do every week. I just
yeah.
love this.
Let's talk about what we've been up to. Well, I've been playing, as you guessed it, Animal Crossing, as the music would suggest. I have somehow managed to maintain my Animal Crossing morning routine, Shalene.
I'm impressed that you've managed that with the new job.
I get up and, in a drunken, half awake stupor, flick on the espresso machine behind me. And then I wander back to bed and I turn on the Switch and I wait for Animal Crossing to load. And I just lay there half asleep. And then as the coffee's heating up, I play Animal Crossing. Then I have my coffee and my breakfast, and that's the end of the day for Animal Crossing. So it really sucks, now that I'm up even earlier, I have to sell my stuff in the inbox, Dropbox for the shop. So I'm going to have to start going back in there after work or in the evenings to like see what's in the shop.
Yeah.
And see the clothes because I'm missing everything now.
That's a bummer.
So, yeah. Anyways, I missed Jack last week because it was the 31st and I started on the 1st and I needed to go to bed and
Ooh.
yeah. That's all I've been playing actually. Because oh, that's not true. I did play some Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And I think I'm in the final world.
Nice.
Yeah, like Bowser's Big World in the middle. I don't know if you've played it. You bought it, right?
I haven't, no.
Oh, it's so
I haven't played it.
It's actually so good. Okay, so I played a Halloween level on Halloween.
Nice.
And it was so fun. There was pumpkins and they were dancing and singing in the background. And it was so cute. And then there was like lava pits and these popcorn kernels. And like the popcorn kernels would fall into the lava pit and then they would turn into popcorn.
Oh,
and they would like
so
hop.
cute.
And it was so cute. There was just like little popcorns everywhere. I want popcorn now. Anyways, Super Mario Brothers, those harder levels, they're friggin' hard. Yeah. They are so hard. Like there was one where I probably died at the midpoint and played maybe 50 or 60 times to try to get before I actually got it. And I just kept going. I kept going. And there was a point in that midpoint where you would get a 1-up. So I wasn't losing any lives.
Right.
Like I would get the 1-up and then I would die again and I would go back and I get the 1-up and then I die again. So they obviously strategically put that there knowing that people were going to be like, this is really hard. So, but yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is so good. It's
it looks like a brilliant little game.
It is really so good. I'm actually getting pretty close to the end. I think I have like one more world to do before I got to do Bowser's the big castle. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start fresh and play it all over again.
Really?
Yeah, but this
that
time
that must be a game you're enjoying if you're ready to just start it over again.
Yeah, but because this time I want to play it in a little bit more detail. Like
Mhm.
I want to figure out the secrets and the, you know, now
Find
that
all
I
the
have a
Easter eggs and
now
hidden
that I have
passages.
now that I have a feel for what the game is about and where the secrets kind of are on each level, like you kind of have an idea. It's so good. It's so
That's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of it's like there's been moments where I'm playing it, I'm like, this is so fun. Like, I love this. And they've thought of everything. They've literally thought of everything when they made this game. So, yeah.
Mario games are a special kind of joy. They really are.
Oh, it is totally. And Super Mario
Mhm.
Brother, it's like on steroids.
Mhm.
Like it's crazy. And there's the true midpoint, like traditional Mario. But then there's a trigger that you can transform into another world,
Hmm.
right? So, and that's how you get, because you got to get like 3 seeds in a level,
Ah,
and
okay.
or like things like that, 2 seeds or whatever. And sometimes the second seed will be hidden in this time warp thing where you have to like transport to the upside down of the same level. And it'll
Mhm.
be the same level, but it'll be like even goofier. So like, it'll be like normal grassy like things with like the little wampas or whatever jumping around and turtles, and then you'll get the trans or the portal, and then it'll be like a disco, and they're all like dancing and like
Oh, that sounds
it's
amazing.
so much fun. It's so much fun.
Nintendo has not forgotten how to put joy in a video game.
Oh
And
yeah.
as much as I enjoy, epic stories and some of the deeply mature storylines like The Last of Us and that type of gameplay, as much as I
Yeah.
enjoy that, there is something to be said for playing a video game that brings you joy.
Yeah,
There is
absolutely.
something to be said for that.
Anyways, that's what I've been playing. And what have you been up to?
Okay, well, I decided this isn't necessarily gameplay, but I wanted to include it because I think it's definitely worth shouting out. Nintendo has recently launched the Nintendo Music app, which is available on Android and iOS. And it's basically just a music app that includes Nintendo video game soundtracks. And earlier in this very podcast, we were talking about the Breath of the Wild soundtrack.
That's right.
And I listened to it on repeat for like 5 days last week.
No
And
way.
I have gotten so much happiness like out of this app. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time for me. And it is included with your Nintendo Online subscription. So you just have to log
Oh,
in. If you have the basic $20 a year Nintendo Online subscription, you get access to the Nintendo Music app. And it's absolutely wonderful. I hope they continue to add video games soundtracks. um they've got some good ones on there, but it's far from being the full catalog, and I just hope they keep it updated because I've been really enjoying
I'm gonna have to check it out.
that. I am also still being held in an absolute chokehold by Pokemon Go. Completely obsessed. Yes. And they recently released, I don't think I've talked about this at all yet, but they recently released a new feature called Gigantamax for Pokemon. And these are Gigantamax raids where you get together and you raid a big Pokemon, and it takes like as many as 40 trainers to bring down a Gigantamax Pokemon. And as you can imagine, getting together a group of 40 people is not an easy task.
Yeah.
But Niantic has this built-in social media platform called Campfire that is part of Pokemon Go. And you can use that to join groups. And Archon and I joined a group here in Albuquerque, and there were about 150 people at the meetup. We went to this park, and
Whoa.
some guy had this like speaker, like a Bluetooth speaker that was on wheels, and it was blasting the Pokemon Go background music.
Oh,
And I
that's
was like,
awesome.
hey, I think we found it. They had a little flag, a little Pokemon flag. And it was great. We just walked around together with this huge group of people, had a great time. I got a shiny Charizard. And it was really fun. And a couple weeks later, we joined them again for Gigantamax Gengar. And Gengar is a ghost type. And it was Dia de los Muertos. And Archon got two shiny Gengars. So I also have a shiny Gengar. That was great. And those were a little easier to defeat. You didn't quite need 40 trainers. You could do it with like 30. Um, I still think they made them a little too hard. But it was really fun because we got to see the Old Town Plaza all decked out for Dia de los Muertos,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people were in costume with their faces painted, and it was so neat to just experience that. And without Pokemon Go to motivate me to go out,
yeah.
I would never have gotten to see that. And
Uh,
I've never been to a big Dia de los Muertos celebration, and I still wouldn't have been if this game had not motivated me to go out. So that was
cool,
fun.
cool.
And they gave us some stickers of Pokemon with like Sugar Skull face paint on, and that was really cute. Do you have yours handy? Do you have yours handy, Archon? I got a Pikachu one, and he got this little Charizard with
Aw,
some Dia de los Muertos paint. Isn't that adorable? That's so cute.
that's so cute.
So shout out to the Old Town Pokemon Go crew. And then we also Archon and I have been doing raid night every Wednesday night. And we just go down to a nearby mall. And usually we can just drive around this parking lot and park at some of the gyms and find a group to do the raids with. Because most of the raids only need 4 or 5 people. And we were raiding a Pokemon called Lugia. It's like a dragon type. And um, we didn't really have enough people. There was nobody joining us. And so I thought, well, I'll hop in the Discord and see if anybody wants to hop on.
Yeah.
And we had some people in the Discord join us.
Oh,
And that was really, really fun. Sulior jumped in, Moxie jumped in. Um, One of our friends, I think his name is Ted in Discord, and it's Kenway on Pokemon. He wasn't able to get in, so I'm gonna try and plan it a little further ahead this week, I think, and so everybody knows what time to be ready, and maybe we'll try and make Pokemon raid nights a thing. It's one of the things is that when you do a remote raid, you have to have remote raid passes, and those are very difficult to come by without paying for them. So
oh.
mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the
Hmm.
things that are more fun in Pokemon do require you to be a pay to play player, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, the obsession is real. But I had a lot of fun raiding with like people from the Discord that I knew. That was a fun experience.
Cool.
And I caught a Lugia. It was a good one.
Yes.
And I also started Dragon Age Veilguard.
Oh my.
Yes, I'm so excited. I went shopping for it on the release date and Target was out.
Yeah,
So
I remember you were saying that.
I was really upset about it. And finally we made it to a GameStop a few days ago and picked up a copy of Veilguard, got it installed, and finally yesterday, because of snow day, I was able to start it. And I spent like 4 hours in the character creator Thunder. Like, so you do your main character. Your character's name is Rook in this game. So you design your Rook, and then when you're done with that, you have the option to customize your Inquisitor from the previous Dragon Age game. So then you're going through the whole entire experience again. So yeah, you basically got to do character creator twice, and it took a long time. And it was a good character creator, but honestly, I think we may have reached the point where there are actually too many options in there. I I spent way too long fiddling with things that were fine, that were
But
totally
you
fine.
still had terrible
Mhm.
makeup and you couldn't have curly hair.
Actually, no. The makeup was totally acceptable. It's not what I would choose yet. It's not quite there for me, but it is totally acceptable makeup. And I do have curly hair on my character.
Oh,
The hair on my character is actually basically my actual haircut. It's just loose
really?
curls, just a bit shorter than shoulder length and longer on one side than the other, like an asymmetric
Excellent.
cut.
Excellent.
And it's exactly my hair, and it looks so good. And there are some longer curly hairstyles that look pretty good. And yeah, there are some really great
Cool.
hairstyles in the character creator.
Hmm.
So I was pretty happy with that. I am still very close to the beginning of Dragon Age Veilguard. I did many hours of character creation and maybe 1 to 2 hours of actual gameplay. I don't know. But I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy the combat. It feels a little different to me. And um, I don't know if it's just that I'm still so far in the beginning, but it doesn't feel like it has the depth that I expect from a BioWare game. I don't really feel like I'm able to control my party members, what they're doing. Um, I I feel like it's a little too fussy trying to use my character's special abilities and stuff. Um, but that is, I am very early on, and I may change my mind on
Hmm.
that as the combat gets deeper. The game is beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. I really enjoy the art style. I enjoy the environments and the character looks,
Hmm.
and it just looks so good.
Hmm.
This game looks so good. And
Nice.
I am loving the story. Seeing some of these characters that I've been following for years aged up is pretty neat. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more characters from the past. One of the new characters, I really like. Her name is Nev, and she has a peg leg. She has a prosthetic leg, except her prosthetic leg is like the leg of a Georgian table.
What?
You know, the curved table leg with like the lion foot. That is what she has for her prosthetic leg, and it's so fancy, and I adore it.
That is
Um,
that is something that I would do in real life.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right?
And her character is kind of a hard boiled detective, so I like that too. Um, and the last thing that I have to say is that we must all protect Varric Tethris at all costs. No spoilers, but they better not hurt him anymore in this game than he's
Hmm.
already been hurt.
Hmm.
So that's it for my gameplay. I really enjoyed some video games this over the past few weeks.
I really want to see Mudang and Haggis incorporated into video games in some capacity.
That would
Like,
be fun.
what if you could
Yeah.
have a Mudang companion?
What I'm
Or
picturing
like a
is,
Mudang plushie that you could like put on your backpack or something.
do you remember what was that game called? Goat Simulator?
Yeah.
There was Goat Simulator, and then there was the Untitled Goose Game. That
Did I tell you Goat Simulator's being remastered?
is it really? Is it
Yeah.
really? Well, anyways, that kind of chaos is what I expect from the Mudang video game.
Oh my gosh, that's right. The
Mm-hmm.
makers of Untitled Goose Game should make a Mudang and Haggis. They
It
really
would be
should.
great.
They should.
Mm-hmm.
Except of course don't call it Mudang and Haggis because you're going to get sued.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or do call it Mudang and Haggis and donate a portion of the proceeds to their respective zoos.
yes, in partnership with the zoos. That's a great
Yes.
idea. Yeah, as like animal awareness, like animal
Or
safety,
we could have
whatever.
Mudang and Haggis animals in Animal Crossing.
Are there hippo villagers?
They're absolutely hippo villagers.
Oh yeah, Biff, right? Biff is
Yeah,
a
you had
hippo.
Biff for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you still have Biff?
No.
No.
No, I got rid of him. He was too annoying. He was like, "Check
Yeah.
out my pipes. Here, I got you this tank top." And I'm like, "That's the same one you gave me yesterday." "It's okay, take it again. It's just a different color."
Fun.
Anyways, that's a show. Um Oak and Crow coffee, check it out. oakandcrow.com. $2 goes to the Children's Miracle Network. We should have a coffee blend where $2 goes to Mudang. Email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. We'd love to hear from you. Alternatively, you can send us some mail in the Mailstack channel in the Discord. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/wejustlovegames, facebook.com/group/wejustlovegames. And join us in the chat after dark. If you navigate to our Twitch page, you can get access to the Discord and pop in that way. Or you can send us a message on any other social media platform. We'll get you access. The show records live at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And don't forget, last Friday we did an episode of that Fallout show with Jessica Starr talking about the final installment of the first season of that other Fallout show. So hopefully, if Shalene has time on this long weekend, in and amongst all of the naps and the Pokemon and the scrolling of the Moodang videos, she will find some time to post that final episode of TFS Season 1. Check us out on YouTube, iTunes, Apple's, Google, and Spotify. Please like, subscribe, and review. Shalene, what is your last word?
Pygmy hippos are the only thing giving me the will to live.